Hello, my name is Jordan Ziskin, and this is live data visualization in Tableau via Kafka data streaming into Redshift. What happens when you're a data developer at an organization with large amounts of data and your database is only refreshed twice a day? Well, this happens. You get a lot of messages from people saying that the data in one source does not match the data at another end source. And so I get these messages very frequently. In the case of my company, it is people looking at reports in Salesforce where most of the data entry occurs and it not matching the visualizations we create in Tableau. So the goal for this project is to stream data via Kafka into Redshift and visualize live data in Tableau for end users to consume. We're going to start with a stream processing tier that's going to stream the data in the Kafka. Then we're going to go to a storage tier, which is going to store the data that is streamed via AWS and Confluent's Redshift sync connector. And lastly, we are going to visualize the data by creating views and bringing those views into Tableau. So before we get into exactly how the process works here, I want to talk a little bit about what my company does and what the data looks like. I work for a healthcare organization that's focused on keeping seniors active. We invite them out to events with the purpose of enrolling them in our Active Seniors program. We care about tracking two main metrics over time. First, how many members do we interact with? And second, how many members actually enroll in the program? So here's what the implementation is going to look like. We're going to start by simulating data in Python. I simply just wrote two functions using random and pandas to create two data frames that I wrote as CSVs. Next, we're going to stream data via a Kafka producer. The first function here reads the config file. The next one loads the data and loads the Avro schemas. Next, we produce the data, so it will go into the Kafka Avro producer. After that, we have to connect to Redshift via Confluent's sync connector. This was probably the most difficult part, making sure that the Kafka connector synced up with Redshift, with the Redshift sync connector. And so in order to do that, you needed to make sure that you had a proper schema that was in Avro. You needed to make sure you had Kafka API keys, and you also needed to make sure you had your Redshift authentication. Two important steps here as well, in addition to making the schema registry, is that you actually have to make sure that the topic you create is a table in your Redshift server. Otherwise, the process will not work. Next, we're going to manually create a couple of views for data visualization. I did this in dbeaver. We ended up pulling 3 views here. And lastly, we're going to actually build the Tableau dashboards. So let's do a quick demonstration. I have here on the left-hand panel, I'm going to run the producer. And you will see data is running. At the bottom here, we have Confluent showing that the messages are going through the sync connector. And if we look in Tableau, right now it shows nothing, but when we refresh, we see live data has populated. And let's refresh again as more come in. You'll see every time that I hit that refresh button, we're getting more and more data. So that's it. No more emails about data not matching. My name is Jordan Ziskin. Thank you so much for watching.